Imagine this. You roll up your sleeves at a party or the gym, and instantly all eyes land on your arms. Thick, powerful biceps with sharp peaks that look like they've been carved out of stone. That's the kind of presence most guys want. But here's the truth. Most people spend hours curling dumbbells and doing endless reps, yet never really see those mountains of muscle form on their arms. Why? Because they're not training their biceps smart. In this video, we're diving into 10 killer exercises that will finally unlock those massive bicep peaks you've been chasing. Stick with me until the end, because I promise, if you apply what you're about to learn, you'll see changes in your arms in just weeks, not years. And by the way, one of the exercises I'm about to share isn't even a curl, it's something most lifters completely ignore, and yet it's the missing link between flat biceps and towering peaks. You won't want to miss that one. Now, before we get into the actual exercises, let's clear up one big misconception. A lot of people believe biceps are just one muscle. That's wrong. The bicep is made up of two heads, the long head and the short head. If you want that mountain-like peak, you need to target the long head specifically. And the way you do that isn't by just grabbing a pair of dumbbells and curling mindlessly. It's about smart angles, controlled movements, and knowing when to flex and squeeze. So, let's jump into the exercises, but don't just watch this passively. Imagine yourself performing each one. Picture how the muscle stretches and contracts. Because when you truly visualize the exercise, you start to feel it differently when you actually train. Studio microphone, Exercise 1. Incline dumbbell curl. The first weapon in our arsenal is the incline dumbbell curl. This move is an absolute monster for stretching the long head of the biceps. Think about it. When you're lying back on that incline bench, your arms are pulled behind your body. That starting position lengthens the bicep tendon, forcing the long head to do the majority of the work. And here's where most people mess up, they rush it. But when you lower the dumbbells slowly, let them stretch at the bottom, and then curl up with control while squeezing at the top, you'll feel your biceps screaming in the best way possible. It's not just about lifting the weight, it's about owning the representative, but here's a mistake you must avoid. Don't let your shoulders roll forward. The moment you do, your shoulders take over, and your biceps lose tension. Keep that chest open, shoulders pinned, and you'll maximize the peak building effect. Studio microphone, Exercise 2. Concentration curl. Now let's talk about concentration curls. If incline curls are about stretch, concentration curls are about squeeze. This is where you isolate the bicep, remove momentum, and really zero in on that mind-muscle connection. Think of it like this. You're carving the peak with each rep, like a sculptor chiseling stone. Sit down, rest your elbow on the inside of your thigh, let the dumbbell hang, and then curl with laser focus. Hold and flex at the top as if you're trying to crush a walnut inside your bicep. That contraction is what builds shape. And here's a fascinating detail. Studies show that exercises with maximum contraction at the top, like concentration curls, literally create greater neural activation in the biceps compared to other curls. That means your brain is firing harder signals to your arms, which translates to better growth. Exercise 3. Preacher curl. Up next is the preacher curl, the classic golden era bodybuilding exercise. Guys like Arnold swore by it. Why? Because it eliminates cheating completely. When your arms are locked against that pad, you can't swing or use momentum. It's pure, raw bicep work. Now, a little secret here. If you grip the bar with your pinky slightly higher than your thumb, you'll shift more tension onto the long head, amplifying peak activation. And when you lower the bar, don't just drop it. Take 3 to 4 seconds to come down, feel that stretch, and then explode upward. Exercise 4. Hammer curl. Now, let's not forget hammer curls. A lot of guys think hammer curls are just for forearms, but they're one of the best moves for adding thickness to the biceps as well, thanks to the brachialis muscle. And here's the kicker. The brachialis sits underneath your bicep. So when it grows, it literally pushes the bicep up, making the peak look higher. That's the cheat code most lifters don't even realize. So if you want those peaks to pop, hammer curls are non-negotiable. But don't just do standard hammer curls. Try cross-body hammer curls, where you curl the dumbbell across your torso toward your opposite shoulder. This angle hits the brachialis and long head even harder, creating explosive growth. Studio microphone, exercise 5. Spider curl. Spider curls are another underrated gem. Imagine lying face down on an incline bench, arms hanging straight down, and curling the weight up. It feels brutal because it forces constant tension. There's no rest at the bottom or top. Every second of the representative is work. And here's what makes spider curls magical. They pump so much blood into your biceps that the muscle feels like it's about to burst. That's when you know you're feeding the fibers exactly what they need to grow. Studio microphone, exercise 6. Cable curls with rope or bar. Now let's switch to cables. Cables are incredible because they keep tension on the biceps through the entire range of motion. With dumbbells, gravity takes over and tension disappears at certain angles. But cables? The tension never lets go. And when you attach a rope, you can twist your wrists outward at the top for a killer contraction. Imagine flexing so hard at the peak that your veins start surfacing. That's what cable curls do. And fun fact, many of the old school bodybuilders swore by cable curls in their finishing routines because they gave that skin stretching pump that built legendary peaks. Studio microphone, exercise 7. Zotman curl. Now, let's talk about the Zotman curl. A move hardly anyone does anymore, but it's a secret weapon. You curl the dumbbells up with a standard supinated grip, then rotate your wrists and lower them down with a pronated grip. Why does this matter? Because you hit your biceps on the way up, and your forearms and brachialis on the way down. That combination builds not only peaks, but balanced, powerful arms. And when you build balance, your biceps stand out even more. Studio microphone, exercise 8, chin-ups. Alright, time for the non-curl move I promised you earlier. Chin-ups. Yep, you heard me right, chin-ups are one of the most powerful peak builders you'll ever do. When you use a supinated grip, palms facing you, your biceps are heavily involved in pulling your entire body up. That's heavy, functional weight training for your arms. And here's the beauty. When you start adding weight with a belt, your biceps have no choice but to explode in size and strength. Think of chin-ups as the squat for your arms. Studio microphone, exercise 9. Drag curl. Let's move to drag curls. This old school move looks strange at first, but it's insanely effective. Instead of curling the bar out in front, you drag it straight up your torso, keeping your elbows pulled back. What this does is force the long head to activate like crazy, because your shoulders don't get involved. It isolates the biceps in a way that feels unnatural at first, but once you master it, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. Studio microphone, exercise 1021S. Finally, we have 21s. This is the finisher that destroys your biceps in the best way possible. You perform 7 reps from the bottom to halfway, 7 from halfway to the top, and then 7 full reps. By the end of it, your biceps will feel like they've been set on fire. This technique doesn't just build peaks, it creates that crazy pump that makes your arms look twice their size. And let me ask you this, how many people do you know who train arms casually, but never actually have arms that command attention? That's because they're not applying methods like these. But you will. And when you do, you'll stand out from the crowd instantly. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to Peak Physique, and drop a comment below telling me which exercise you're going to master first. And as always, keep training hard, stay disciplined, and build the physique you deserve.